Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, December 11th. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, a district man convicted of killing 27-year-old Eric Walker while he was pumping gas in Temple Hills last year learns his fate today in court. Patricia Vallone is standing by in Upper Marlboro with more.
36-year-old Dwayne Williams was sentenced to 85 years in prison with all but 50 suspended for the February 2013 murder of Eric Walker and the assault of his best friend.
It's a very random crime, as you heard in the courtroom. This is someone where Mr. Williams was high on PCP. He was paranoid. He thought everyone was out to get him. He actually exited a moving vehicle with a handgun, walked into the gas station, and you can see on surveillance video he begins to chase Mr. Walker around the vehicle that he was putting gas in. Mr. Walker flees the scene, and then Mr. Williams then tries to and gain access to the vehicle where Mr. Seymour, who was the driver of the vehicle, was still sitting. But as the vehicle drove off, ripping the gas nozzle actually off the pump, Mr. Williams turned his attention back to Mr. Walker. He actually chased him down in the middle of the road and shot him execution style.
A witness led police to the suspect. You can hear her frantic voice in the 911 call.
I'm at Colebrook and Branch Avenue by the Wendy's and the gas station. This man just shot him. Oh my God.
Listen. You're near the Wendy's?
Yes. In the middle of the street. He just shot this man.
Mr. Williams apparently was suffering from some depression and anxiety and other mental health issues. And as a result, instead of seeking help, and there are places, of course, all over this county and all over this region where you can seek help, instead of doing that, he chose to self-medicate himself. And on the day this incident happened, he had smoked anywhere from 7 to 10 dippers, which would be a cigarette dipped in PCP. And he had become so jacked up, so paranoid that everyone was out to get him. He just set out to kill someone.
Now, Walker's mother spoke today during the sentencing. She said only 3 months after her son's murder, her daughter died of a heart attack. She said she believes that attack was caused due to the trauma of her son's murder. From Upper Marlboro, I'm Patricia Vallone for CTV News.
An off-duty Metropolitan Police officer in a nearby car attempted to make an arrest at the time of the incident. Williams tried to fire at the officer, but the gun would not discharge. The convicted killer also had a series of prior drug convictions and assault incidents before the Temple Hills murder took place.
And a local woman whose son was shot to death by a Prince George's County officer 15 years ago says she has no faith in the judicial system. Marion Gray Hopkins was among those who attended a public forum in the district yesterday of mothers who lost children to alleged police brutality. Her son, 19-year-old college student Gary Hopkins, was shot and killed by police following a dance. Now, the officer who shot Hopkins was off duty and working security at that venue that night. Now, police say a fight broke out among partygoers involving Hopkins and they refused to follow orders. They say Hopkins was shot after a struggle for the officer's gun. The victim's mother says the Maryland's Police Officers Bill of Rights, which mandates procedures that must be followed before and discipline can be conducted, is designed to protect police at the public's expense.
Faith in the judicial system at this time. I honestly don't. I know they're talking about the civilian review boards where you have civilians, however, you have someone on the board that is from the police department on that board. And I think until there is truly a civilian board of folks from the outside with no one from the police department, the judicial system at all, we will not ever see any fairness in getting justice for our children.
Now, the county paid a $200,000 settlement in 2003 that was filed against police. Well, as we told you last night, the mother of an unarmed man who was shot and killed by a Prince George's County sheriff's deputy is considering a lawsuit. Michelle Miner, her attorney and local activist, held a press conference this afternoon. Miner says she wants justice in the death of her son, Michael Miner. The incident happened last month in Suitland. Sheriff's deputies were called to the 2300 block of Houston Street for a domestic dispute. Police say Miner refused to follow orders and was making hand movements when he was shot by a deputy. His mother says she wants charges filed against the sheriff.
Will police officers continue to kill unarmed
just want answers, and I've reached out to elected officials and the people in the appropriate places requesting that they provide that documentation to us so that we can determine what our next step might be under the circumstances.
And the state's attorney's office is still investigating the case.
The Prince George's Schools Chief plans to announce his operating budget for fiscal year 2016 this evening. CEO Dr. Kevin Maxwell will present his budget to the Board of Education at 6 p.m. in the Sasser Administration Building in Upper Marlboro. The school system operates one of the nation's largest school districts with more than 127,000 students and nearly 2,300 employees. The current FY 2015 budget is nearly $1.8 billion. That's with a B. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Srivastava.
And I'm Byron Scott with the B.